Welcome to AffairsCloud. My name is Vikas Rana. We are one-stop solution for current affairs. You can find Crack Current Affairs course on our application exclusively for current affairs, where you will get daily, weekly, monthly content on regular basis. Use the code Vikas10 and get 10% additional discount while purchasing the course. Also, students, follow us on Telegram and Instagram. The link for the same are mentioned in our description. This video has both English and Hindi. The first part is English and second part is Hindi. Timestamps are mentioned in the description below. So students, we have started a new initiative that is of handwritten notes. It is helpful to understand the news daily, time saving and very useful for your revision. We aims to cover 15 questions via handwritten notes in upcoming bank exams. These handwritten notes are available on daily current affairs content PDF at our mobile application and website careerscloud.in. Only our Crack Current Affairs subscribers will be able to access these handwritten notes. A sample PDF of the handwritten notes will be available in the description.
Hello students, how are you all? I hope you are all good. So students, in this video we will be discussing important current affairs for the topic International Affairs for Feb month. We upload the daily current affairs video students at 5 am in the morning. Weekly current affairs, monthly current affairs and topic wise are uploaded regularly to help you prepare better for the competitive exams. Let's start with the content students. First is identify the country that recently eradicated the Gambinese from human African trypnosis, that is HAT, also known as the sleeping sickness, as announced by the World Health Organization. So, which is that country that eradicated this HAT? It is Guinea, right? Next, the World Health Organization declared Niger as the first African nation to achieve the elimination of what? It was for the elimination of onchocerciasis on 31st of January 2025, and Nigeria's success marked the second time the country has eliminated the NTD, that is neglected tropical disease. Next is in January, Elon Musk X Corp, they partnered with Dash to launch the first digital wallet and P2P payment service named X Money, aimed to create everything application. So X Corp, they are partnered with Visa, and they together will be launching a digital wallet as well as a P2P payment service, and this will coming under the everything application of X. Next, 3 West African countries, Republic of Mali, Burkina Faso and Republic of Niger, they withdrew from the regional economic bloc Dash in January 2025. So they withdrew from the regional economic bloc, economic community of West African states, right? And they withdrew this from in January 2025. This is your ECOWAS, economic community of West African states, right? ECOWAS, they have advised its remaining 12 members to keep recognizing the passport of these 3 countries and continue to trade with them until further instructions are given. Next, identify the company that recently joined United Nations Global Compact to advance commitment to becoming a global leader in sustainable aviation. It is your GMR Airports Limited. Take a note of it. Next, name the 13th joint military exercise between Indian Army and Maldives National Defence Force, which commenced on 2nd Feb to 15th of Feb in Maldives. It is equivalent, right? This is the name of that 13th joint military exercise. Next, identify the country that recently became the first Latin American nation to withdraw from China Belt and Road Initiative. It is Panama. Next, in Feb, UNICEF along with Dash, they have launched a national roadmap to address road traffic injuries among children and adolescents in India. It is World Health Organization Collaborating Center, right? They along with UNICEF have launched a national roadmap to address the road traffic injuries among the children and adolescents in India. Next is name the organization that recently in Feb 2025 featured in India in honor roll for paying its regular budget assessments within the specified 30-day period. It is United Nations. Correct? Take a note of this. Next, Indian Navy, they participated in the International Fleet Review 2025 and the 5th Multilateral Naval Exercise Komodo from 15 to 22nd of Feb. Name the country that hosts both the exercise. It is Bali, Indonesia. This is the exercise that hosts both these exercise, and in here INS Shardul took part in this exercise. Next, which country is set to host the BRICS Summit 2025 scheduled for 6th to 7th of July 2025? It is Brazil, right? Brazil is the country that is set to host the BRICS Summit 2025. Next, name the country that became the newest member of OPEC Plus in Feb 2025, expanding the coalition of 22 major oil producing nations following an invitation in 2023. It is Brazil. Next, India was recently elected as the vice president of which organization in Feb during the first General Assembly in Singapore, marking its transition from an NGO to an international governmental organization. So, India became a vice president of International Organization for Marine Aids to Navigation. That is IALA. Next, mention the country that assumed the chairmanship of Bay of Bengal Program Intergovernmental Organization from Bangladesh during the 13th Governing Council meeting on 21st of Feb. If we look at the option, it is our country, India, that has recently assumed the chairmanship here. Next, which international observance marked the 10th anniversary celebrated by UNESCO with the campaign Imagine a World Where More Women in Science on Feb 11, 2025. It is International Day of Women and Girl in Science. Correct. And United Nations General Assembly declared 11th of Feb as International Day of Women and Girls in Science in 2015. And there is a hashtag, there is Every Voice in Science. Next, according to the Financial Action Task Force second plenary report, that is Mexico, Elisa de Anza Mazo's 2-year presidency in Paris, France in Feb, which of the following statements are correct? If we look at the options, option A and C are right, B is wrong. B is saying that Philippines was added to the FATF list and Laos and Nepal, they were removed from the list. So no, the Philippines, it was removed from the list, whereas Laos and Nepal, they were added to this list here. They were added to the list here. Next, which edition of the India-Japan joint military exercise Dharma Guardian held at the East Fuji training area in Japan? So which edition of this exercise? It was the 6th edition of this exercise. So that's all for the day, students. Now let's move to some revision part that will be beneficial for your learning. Next, as per the report Trends in International Arms Transfer by CIPRI, what does India's global rank among the major arm importers during the period 2020 to 2024? India ranks at the 2nd position, right, in the terms of imports, right? Ukraine stands on the 1st position as of now. Next, name the 12th edition of India-Kyrgyzstan joint military exercise commenced in Kyrgyzstan in March 2025. Exercise name is Khanjar 12. This exercise was held from 10 to 23rd of March. Next, the 6th edition of the Coordinated Patrol Corpet, 6th edition of Corpet and 4th edition of Bongo Sagar, right? These exercises were held in Bay of Bengal, right? Question asked is this edition, right? It was coordinated, this exercise was conducted by whom? It was India and Bangladesh that together conducted this exercise, and from Indian side it was INS Ranveer that took part in this exercise. Next, as per the reports, cereal supply and demand brief and crop prospects and food situation report released by UN Food and Agriculture Organization, what is the projected global grain reserve for the year 2025? It is expected to be around 369.3 million tons. Next, India was elected to lead the 68th session of the United Nations Commission on Dash, chaired by Ambassador Shambhu S. Kumaran in the Vienna in March 2025. It is narcotic drugs, right? It was the 68th session and India was elected to lead it. Next, as per SEBI's new regulations for SME IPOs announced in March, what is the maximum allowed percentage for the offer for sale portion of the total IPO size? How much percent? It will be around 20%. Next, which of the following statements are correct with respect to the 9th edition of the International Cricket Council's Championship Trophy in March in Dubai, UAE? If we look at the options, it is option A and B, that is right, C is wrong. It is saying that the 4 event ambassadors for the 2025 ICC Champions Trophies are Virender Sehwag, Sharfaz Ahmed, Shane Watson and Tim Sodhi. Right? Is it correct? So, Sharfaz Ahmed, right. Right? Then all-rounder, Australian all-rounder, Shane Watson, absolutely right. Then Tim Southey, absolutely right. Correct. And it is, here will be not Virendra Sehwag but Shikhar Dhawan. Correct. Now option C is right. Next, which state celebrated the Chapchur Koot festival in March? So it was Mizoram that celebrated this Chapchur Koot festival in March. Next, in March, National Highways Logistics Management Limited and Inland Waterways Authority of India signed an MOU to develop a state-of-the-art multi-modal logistic park that will be in Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh. Right, this will be a 150-acre strategically connected National Highway 7. Next, Kuhu Finance, backed by Westbridge Capital, secured an RBI license in March to function as a dash, enabling it to offer student loans up to 2 crore rupees. So this will be functioning as a NBFC, non-banking finance companies. Correct. And it is India's first AI driven, that is artificial intelligence driven education loan expert company. Next, according to the Dubai Department of Economic and Tourism data, which country tops in the FDI into Dubai, contributing 21.5% of the total FDI inflows worth $3 billion. So it is our country, India. Next, Shakti Aircraft Industry Private Limited, they have signed an agreement in March to manufacture and supply 200 Diamond DA-40NG, that is next generation trainer aircraft, with which organization in India? It will be with Aero Club of India, right? And here 1000 pilots will be trained annually by them. Next, the prestigious ACM, that is your ACM AM Turing Award, often called as the Nobel Prize of Computing, was awarded in March to pioneer reinforcement learning Dr. Andrew Barto and Richard Sutton. So, 2 individuals were awarded with the ACM AM Turing Award. Next, in March, identify the Indian airport that received the 8th consecutive Airport Service Quality Award for Best Airport over 40 million passengers in the Asia Pacific region. So, it is Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport. Next, in March, Atul Kumar Goyal was appointed as the Chief Executive of the Indian Banks Association, taking over from whom? From Sunil Mehta. Right, and he will be succeeding Sunil Mehta. Take a note of this. Next, in March, NASA has launched 2 missions, SphereX and Punch, from Vandenberg Space Force Base in USA to study cosmic evolution and solar phenomena. Identify the incorrect statements for the following. If we look at the following, it is option B and C that are the incorrect statements, as this SpareX mission is a telescope surveying the entire sky in 112 wavelength, and it will be discovering that how or basically it will be developing a 3D map here. Punch, it consists of 4 satellites designed to study the sun's core and the planetary magnosphere. Right? Is it correct? So it will be studying corona and the solar winds. Right? Take a note of this. It will be studying corona and solar winds here. Right? And if we talk about this not sun's core but corona, the outer layer of the core. So now it is correct, and not planetary magnosphere but the solar winds. The C is that option. The missions were launched aboard SpaceX Falcon Heavy rocket from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. Is it correct? So it was launched from Vandenberg, not Kennedy Space Center but Vandenberg Space Force Base in California, USA. Now option C and B are also right. Next, which National Sports Federation suspension was lifted by the Ministry of Sports in March, aligning with it to resume its activities? So, which National Sports Federation? It is your Wrestling Federation of India. Next, which grain duty-free import has been extended by India until 31st of March 26 to stabilize the domestic prices? It is urad. Next, what was the total outstanding amount of individual housing loans in India as on 30th September as per the National Housing Bank's report on trends and progress of housing in India 2024? It is 33.53 lakh crore rupees. Next, which Indian state became the first to sign a center-state partnership under the BioE3, that is Biotechnology for Economy, Environment and Employment Policy, with the Department of Biotechnology in March 2025? This will be your Assam state. Next, name the low-level transportable radar system that was recently procured by the Ministry of Defence under 2,906 crore deal with Bharat Electronics Limited for the deployment of the Indian Armed Air Force. It will be Ashwini. Next, as per the RBI's new framework for regulatory organization, self-regulatory organization, that are your SROs, in account aggregator ecosystem, what is the minimum net worth required within 1 year of its recognition? So what is the minimum net worth required here? It will be your 2 crore rupees, right? And this account aggregator system, it was introduced in 2016 to provide secure exchange of financial data between the FIPs and FIUs.